Welcome to World Engineering Day 2024. It's the global stream and I'm here on the desk for the Hackathon Final Show Spectacular. We've got two studios set up today because my co-host, Dr Marlene Kanga, is in a completely different country at the UNESCO and WFEO Lisbon event. Let's hear from Marlene now.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr Marlene Kanga. I was president of the World Federation of Organizations from 2017 to 2019. And I successfully led the proposal for UNESCO to declare 4th March as World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development. I am a chemical engineer and a member of a number of boards of some of the largest organizations in Australia in water, electricity, aviation, and innovation.
Thanks, Marlene. I'm Tennille. I'm actually the owner of The Big Creative. We've been producing the World Engineering Day program now for about 3 to 4 years. Everything from the hackathon to the global stream and kind of everything in between. So it's a real honor to actually be on the hosting desk for you guys this year. And I'm really excited again to be joined by our World Engineering Day founder, Marlene Kanga. It seems our hackathon just keeps getting bigger and bigger with each passing year. Last year, we had 1,000 engineering students from across the globe register. However, this year, the hackathon registrations lifted dramatically to 2,500 engineering students from over 35 countries. I've been working in hackathons for over 6 years now, and I've never seen a registration number that big. There's definitely a reason that we had such a huge increase in participants this year, as this year the hackathon went green, as we focused our efforts on tackling SDG 13, climate action. It's clear to see that young people today really care about this issue, and it's really humbling to watch the next generation of engineers put their frustrations into such positive programs such as our World Engineering Day Hackathon.
Well, Tennille, what an impressive result we had again for the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon. Such a true insight into the passion and dedication coming up through the global engineering community. This can only mean amazing things for young engineers who now have to tackle the engineering challenges set out in the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I feel really hopeful that we are heading in the right direction. And now it's with my great honor to introduce our hackathon judges for 2024. As I mentioned earlier, I am in fact one of them. Let's find out more about them now. Good day, everyone. My name is Dr. Marlene Kanga, and I am a former president of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations and the founder of World Engineering Day. I am delighted to be a judge yet again for the World Engineering Day Hackathon 2024. Climate change is one of the most significant challenges that the world is facing today, and engineers have a crucial role in developing solutions. I'm certainly looking forward to the innovative solutions that are presented by the hackathon teams this year, so important to addressing climate change.
Hello, my name is Ashwini Madanayaka. I'm a judge in the World Engineering Day Hackathon 2024. This year's hackathon challenges revolve around SDG 13 for climate action. Addressing climate change through swift, innovative solutions is essential for safeguarding our planet's ecosystem, fostering economic progress, and ensuring societal stability.
Hello everyone, I am an assistant professor in the Department of Engineering Technology at Austin Peay State University, Tennessee, USA. I'm thrilled to be a judge for the World Engineering Day Hackathon 2024. Climate action in engineering signifies a healthy and promising future for the next generation.
Hello, I'm Ana Quintas, part of the Board of Directors of the Portuguese Engineer Association North Branch. It has been a pleasure to be judge for the World Day Engineer Hackathon 2024. Good luck!
Hello, my name is Paul Morales. I'm a mining engineer and vice president of the Young Engineer National Committee at the College of Engineers of Peru. Grateful to be part of the World Engineering Day judging team.
Hello, my name is Ramon Manresa. I'm a judge from Spain in the World Engineering Day Hackathon. Engineering will stop the climate change. Let's all promote the positive climate change in the world.
Hello and greetings from Edmonton, Canada. My name is Christopher Chukunta and I'm a Vice President at International Renewable Energy Systems, Inc. And I'm so pleased to be one of the judges at the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon.
Hello everyone, Namaskar. I'm Prashant Atmakori, faculty at PVP Siddhartha Institute of Technology in India. I feel privileged to judge the participants' solution to solve climatic changes in the World Engineers Day Hackathon 2024. It is the responsibility of every engineer to take necessary measures in order to address climate change through mitigation, transition and adaptation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohamed Selman Khalil, the co-founder and current program director of the Engineers Without Borders, Sierra Leone. I currently hold the technical advisory position for a construction firm, Avacquel. I'm excited to be one of the judges in the 2023 World Engineering Day Hackathon.
Each year we select some UN Sustainable Development Goals to highlight for the hackathon. This year, our participants hacked UN SDG 13 for climate action. To allow you to understand the submission's core challenges, I thought I would give you a brief understanding of each of them and the unique challenges at hand. Firstly, Challenge 1, delivering the climate positive transition. Transitioning away from fossil fuels and finding solutions that don't create new environmental or social issues for the future has to be one of the greatest engineering challenges of all time. Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation. The actions of individuals produce emissions that drive climate change. From the food we eat to the clothes we wear, from the transport and mobility systems we use every day, to the way we use the buildings we live, work, and play in, every decision we make has the potential to add to or mitigate or even remove greenhouse gas emissions. And Challenge 3, protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters. Climate change is changing weather patterns, bringing more extreme weather events that push people and infrastructure that we rely on to the limits of our ability to cope and survive.
Thanks, Marlene. Now it's the time that we've all been waiting for. Let's settle in and watch the top 12 finalists. First up, we have Team Twende. They're from Egerton University in Kenya. They're tackling Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation. Let's watch their submission.
All continents. We cannot stand back and watch its devastating consequences on the future. Today, climate change affects economy and people, communities and nations. Day by day, we witness how the ocean level rises and how climatic events become more extreme.
We are the Twende team. We are excited to share our innovative solution for a greener future.
Yes, did you know that cars emit millions of tons of carbon dioxide annually? It is time to address this issue.
In an ideal world, cars and trucks would be 100% emission-free. Unfortunately, they aren't. The reality is that pollution from vehicles is frequently above legal limits. This impacts our climate and the health of millions of people, especially in urban areas. The need to act is urgent.
Transitioning to electric vehicle is essential. We recognize the unique capabilities of fossil fuels that cannot be ignored.
Introducing the Twende app. our solution that will reduce personal vehicle usage and cut down on the emissions that are being released to the environment.
Twende promotes ride sharing, meaning fewer cars on the road.
Using public transport instead of private cars in one of the best ways to reduce the carbon emission from the transport sector. Many cities have struggled to convince people to switch away from the personal vehicles due to inconveniences such as crowded buses and predicted scheduled and limited routes. The app offers a solution to this problem by making it easy for people to find and share rides. By registering on the app, users can detect car moving their ways and leave their cars behind, preventing additional carbon emission. This innovative approach has the potential to significantly reduce traffic congestion and improve air quality in the cities around the world.
Innovation directly contributes to SDG 13 climate action. We are taking tangible steps to combat climate change.
In this journey towards a sustainable future, download Twende app, share rides, and be part of the change. Together, let's make every ride count
and drive towards a greener, cleaner future
with Twende.
Thank you. I'm Samuel Bugwa.
I'm Ephantus Ngugi.
And Yachay Kiprop.
What a great solution from Twende. Now let's watch the submission from Team Somiant. Somiant is a team from Yachay Tech University in Ecuador. They are also hacking Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation. Let's watch.
Hemos escuchado que el cambio climático cada vez se agrava, provocando derretimiento de los cascos glaciares del planeta, resultando en un incremento en el nivel del mar, veranos más calientes, inviernos más fríos, lluvias intensas o sequías prolongadas. El fenómeno del Niño, también conocido como ENSO, es un evento climático que se genera por el calentamiento del Océano Pacífico, el cual limita en las costas de nuestro país, Ecuador. El ENSO tuvo mayor afectación en nuestro perfil costero en 1997-1998, donde hubo una pérdida de $2.882 millones. Actualmente se estima que para este año 2023 y 2024 el fenómeno será más fuerte. Sin embargo, estas pérdidas se pueden disminuir si la comunidad conoce sobre los riesgos que conlleva el ENSO. Y si les dijera que no estamos indefensos ante este golpe de la naturaleza, hoy les presentamos una solución innovadora que no solo enfrenta, sino que anticipa, mitiga los impactos del Niño y nos enseña cómo actuar ante este desastre natural.
El Niño es un fenómeno que afecta significativamente el clima en varias partes del mundo y ocurre cada 2 o 7 años con una intensidad variada, afectando drásticamente la temperatura hasta 4 grados centígrados más sobre la normal. Estos cambios en la temperatura del agua también afectan los denominados vientos alisos, los cuales en condiciones normales son los encargados de transportar el agua caliente frente a las costas de nuestro país hacia las costas de Australia y Japón, al oeste. En épocas del Niño ocurre una disminución de los mismos y en algunos casos en cambios completos de la dirección de estos, provocando intensos periodos de sequía y precipitaciones resultando en inundaciones y en algunos casos hasta incendios. En Ecuador, la falta de datos o la carencia de información obstaculiza nuestra capacidad de respuesta.
Imaginen la capacidad de anticipar, de poder ver en tiempo real el desarrollo del fenómeno del Niño en todas las provincias del Ecuador. Esto no es solo una posibilidad, sino la esencia de nuestra solución, un software de monitoreo en tiempo real que use datos satelitales para proporcionar información y ver la evolución del desarrollo del fenómeno del Niño. En el 97 y el 98, muchas de las comunidades costeras quedaron destruidas. Por ejemplo, en la península de Santa Elena, en La Libertad, el malecón quedó arrasado. Las casas en Manglar Alto derribadas y el muro de contención en Montañita tuvo que ser reconstruido. Al sur del país nos encontramos en Santa Rosa, donde el río por el que pasa esta ciudad se desbordó. Este panorama es muy similar a las comunidades que viven en la provincia de Los Ríos, provincia llena de estos afluentes fluviales. Y en los últimos años, al norte del país, en Esmeraldas, hemos venido viendo estos eventos de inundación múltiples veces. Hoy, el clima no es el mismo de hace 25 años. Reconocer los lugares más susceptibles nos ayudará a que este evento deje de ser una tragedia.
El software propuesto va más allá de ser una simple herramienta de observación. Se trata de una red de inteligencia climática diseñada para ser accesible para todos. El monitoreo en tiempo real utiliza algoritmos para analizar patrones climáticos, previendo posibles escenarios y sus impactos. Esto significa que no solo reaccionamos, sino que anticipamos, marcando la diferencia en la preparación ante el fenómeno del Niño. Una de las funcionalidades claves es la capacidad de segmentar imágenes, permitiendo a los usuarios visualizar el progreso del fenómeno en cada provincia ecuatoriana. Este enfoque basado en imágenes ofrece una comprensión más completa y accesible para todos los usuarios. Esto permite acceder a la información en cualquier momento y lugar. Además del monitoreo continuo, el software enviará notificaciones y alertas a los usuarios sobre cambios significativos, garantizando una respuesta inmediata y eficiente. Estas funcionalidades no solo convierten a nuestro software en una herramienta de observación, sino en un aliado esencial para la toma de decisiones informadas.
Implementar esta iniciativa no solo significa mitigar los impactos que el niño puede llegar a tener, sino también estar un paso adelante en la construcción de un futuro más resiliente. La capacidad de toma de decisiones informadas y responder de manera rápida marca la diferencia en la protección de nuestras comunidades que son afectadas de diferente manera y la prevención de nuestro entorno. Presentamos esta iniciativa siendo conscientes de que somos arquitectos de nuestra resiliencia y este software es la herramienta que nos permite construir cimientos sólidos que nos permitirán enfrentar a diferentes desafíos climáticos que se nos avecinan. El cambio climático no es solo una amenaza, es una realidad ineludible que necesita de nuestra atención y acción inmediata. Juntos podemos ser los guardianes de nuestro entorno, protegiendo nuestra tierra para las generaciones venideras.
Wow, Marlene, what a spectacular submission. I'm actually really overwhelmed by the quality of ideas this year. Next up, it's Avacquel. This team comes to us from Kenya as well, but the team's made up of university students from the Multimedia University in Kenya and the University of Eldoret. This team's tackling Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation.
Climate change has emerged as a critical factor impacting agricultural practices globally, notably influencing the growth and ripening patterns of avocados. In Kenya, a significant challenge arises as over 10% of avocados reach the market in poor quality, leading to economic losses for farmers.
The need for a precise harvesting strategy becomes evident as climate change continues to disrupt traditional growing seasons, necessitating innovative solutions to optimize avocado quality and the speculative nature of customers' assessments.
Our innovation leverages a predictive random forest algorithm, integrating sensor technology for real-time data collection. Specifically, AA726X sensors are employed to gather spectral readings indicative of avocado ripeness, which the system analyzes and predicts the ripeness level, enabling a targeted harvesting strategy and precise customer assessment, thus minimizing spoilage.
Nimepresent project yetu ya Avacquel na umeona utendakazi wake. Kama mwanabiashara, je, unaona teknolojia hii itahamasisha na kuwa muhimu katika kulima na uuzaji wa mazao?
Haya mazao ya avocado tunauza, zikiwa zimeiva, zingine zinabaki, zinaoza, inakuwa ni loss. Sasa tukiwa na project kama hii sasa, yeye kwanza tunashukuru sana na vijana kama hii, tuletee project kama hii ndio tunaweza kusense kama avocado unaona sasa kama hii itakuwa imeenda loss, hakuna mtu atanunua hivi sana. Sasa tukiwa na sensor inaonyesha kama imeiva, zile ni mbichi sana pia tunaweza pelekea wazungu wakakula, italeta pesa
kweli. Na unaona teknolojia hii itasaidia kukabiliana na climate change ili kuboresha uuzaji wa parachichi?
Juu si wote ndio nimesema, inaweza sense kama imeiva ama mbichi.
Na je, unaona project hii itakuwa na manufaa gani kati yako na wanafunzi wako?
Itakuwa ni rahisi kwanza, kuna watu wanakujanga wanataka kufinya kama imeiva. Sasa next time wakikuja kununua, nasema tukuwekea kwa mashine. Imeiva, mbichi. Kama atanunua, anunue. Kama ataacha, niachie mali yangu ikiwa sawa. Sawa, shukrani. Karibuni.
Real-time avocado quality monitoring through a user-friendly display interface benefits both customers and sellers, reducing spoilage rates, which currently contribute to approximately 2.4% of global waste. Avacquel stands a promising innovation in the face of changing environmental conditions, offering a sustainable approach to avocado production and consumption.
Distinguished engineers, women and young engineers, engineering scholars and students, engineering consultants and contractors, engineering product manufacturers, beneficiaries of engineering systems and services, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what part of the world you are in now. I am Mustafa Shehu, the president of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations. It is indeed a great pleasure for me to address and congratulate you all on this auspicious occasion marking the 2024 World Engineering Day for Sustainable Development, which is the fifth in the series of World Engineering Day celebrations having started in 2020. The theme of this year's celebration is Engineering Solutions for a Sustainable World. While the celebrations are taking place all over the world in engineering institutions, engineering regulatory bodies, in the academia and industries, the main weight activity by the WFEO officials and UNESCO officials is taking place in the historic city of Lisbon, Portugal. Our choice of Lisbon is made because Portugal has made a name in history in the advancement of sustainable engineering infrastructures like bridges, highways, and ship development, which facilitated globalization by having their way to South America, to Asia, to Africa in the 1500s. Their effort in advancing engineering is not only in history. As at today, Portugal supports advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, advanced computing, machine learning, and open data. According to the United Nations Conference of Trade and Development, which took place in January this year, Portugal ranks 33rd among 166 countries in the Readiness for Frontier Technology Index. These, among others, are the reasons why we decide to celebrate the World Engineering Day in Portugal to have an opportunity to learn and share experiences between the Portuguese engineering community and the global engineering community. Distinguished engineers, the myriad of problems facing the global community today, from climate change to energy inadequacy in some places, to energy transition in others, from water supply to food security, from floods to earthquakes and typhoons. All these are real challenges we occasionally face, whose solutions are deep-rooted in engineering. While trying to bring solutions that will take care of the problems today, we must use all engineering tools available to ensure that these solutions do not jeopardize the survival of our future generations. That is what makes the solution sustainable. From my recent visits in some countries in Asia, in Africa, in the Middle East, and Europe, I'm glad to observe that young engineers and women engineers are really working very hard to provide the required solution to these problems in their respective jurisdictions. It is now on us as leaders of the profession to ensure that we continue to equip them with the right knowledge and skill to tackle these problems as they emerge, and in some cases, preventing the problems from emerging. I'm also glad to observe that the sensitization on celebrating the World Engineering Day over the years is increasing, thereby making known to our governments and the public the relevance of the profession and the contributions of some of us who have done exceedingly well in providing solutions to some present challenges in our respective jurisdictions. We must learn to speak for ourselves, otherwise others will speak to define us in their own understanding or in a way to promote their interests. I therefore charge every one of us to identify one or two problems with solutions to showcase at the next year's World Engineering Day. Once again, I congratulate everyone on this day of the World Engineering Day in the year 2024. Thank you very much.
So nice to hear from our World Federation of Engineering Organization president after that last submission. And well done to Avacquel on what seems like a really intelligent solution. Now it's up to Breathing House from Uganda. This team comes to us from Makerere University and they're hacking Challenge 3, protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters.
The rise in the number of natural disasters due to climate change in the recent past decade, such as floods, hurricanes, heat waves, and landslides, have displaced hundreds of thousands of people. These displacements have led to a rise in refugee problems, and these people need where to stay. But alas, the temporary shelters provided to these individuals are accursed with many problems such as inadequate space, poor sanitation, overheating, and lack of basic amenities. Our project tackles one of these problems, the overheating that takes place in the shelters of these refugee camps, especially in the places of crowd gatherings like schools and hospitals, which house most vulnerable people, the children, the sick, the elderly, and whatnot.
Our project tackles one of these problems, that is that of overheating in these refugee camps. The overheating can be due to the increased heat waves due to climate change that raise the temperatures inside the structure, or overcrowding in the structure itself where bodies generate a lot of heat. So that's where our project comes in, the breathing house. The structure basically mimics the way the human lung operates. That is how the lung takes in and expels air. So our house basically increases the rate of circulation of air in the structure such that it's ever cool under all given temperatures. To illustrate how our project works, we assumed a hypothetical model whereby we're constructing a rectangular structure made of aluminium sheets similar to those that are used to construct unipods.
Of course, the unipod being made almost entirely of metal sheets, its heating up during hot days is a great extent, is uncontrollable. The main superstructure of the unipod comprises of bare aluminium sheets, which on any given day can easily heat up and raise temperatures in the structure above that in an ordinary house. The idea, however, can be put to use in any kind of building. It is independent of the type and shape of the structure. Now, this is the description of the structure. A breathing house simulates the respiratory system of the human body. The main component of the breathing house is the ceiling. For the ceiling to perform its role perfectly in mimicking the movement of the lungs, it is made up of a flexible membrane. We have chosen to use a canvas.
The canvas membrane, which is acting as a ceiling right now, is mechanically operated by a solar-powered motor, which is attached to strings, and that creates an up and down motion. In this way, partial vacuums are periodically created, hence improving air circulation in the building. We are opting for solar because since we are looking at heat, then we expect a greater intensity of solar radiation in the place, so we are sure of full-time operation.
As students, we are grateful for this opportunity that has been available to us to explore our innovation skills, and we hope to be better.
Welcome back to World Engineering Day HQ. We're at the halfway mark now and the hackathon finalists are flowing through. What an impressive opening lineup we have seen. Next up, it's e-Hewa from Moi University in Kenya. They're tackling Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation. Let's watch.
Greetings. We are Team e-Hewa from Moi University, Kenya. We have designed a smart, distributed IoT-based air quality monitoring and alarm system. The air quality in our communities is dipping into critical. The poorest and the most marginalized communities are most likely to live in congested neighborhoods or work where they're exposed to toxic levels of pollution. The impact on their health prevents them from attending school, work, or other responsibilities, further promoting poverty and inequity. Addressing this menace with rationality is definitely the place we want to start the conversation from. The solution to this pressing issue is the key to tackling climate crisis, fostering inclusive societies, and improving childhood development. Clean air is everyone's business, and air pollution is preventable.
The implementation is as follows. Air quality sensor devices will be used to detect harmful gases in a wide range and transmit the variables to a cloud server. The sensors will be placed at strategic points with high population density. The IoT integration with cognitive computing and real-time data exchange is essential for real-time realization of air quality in the environments where the devices are placed. Each device transmits its geolocation to the server, and using the geocoding technique, data is transmitted to the user on the closest proximity. A mobile app interface is used for monitoring and receiving alarm notification.
We have developed a working prototype at the cost of $30. We have tested the device extensively across our university and the results are promising. We, however, need your help to scale up our operations and ensure that all cities in our country are covered by our devices. We need funds to manufacture more devices, to distribute them to different locations, and to maintain and upgrade them regularly. With your support, we can make a difference. We can create a network of air quality monitors that provide reliable and timely information to the public, the authorities, and the media. We can empower people to take action and demand change. We can improve the health and well-being of our communities and our planet.
Clean air is a critical but an unacknowledged secret weapon to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and building a fairer, greener future.
What an innovating idea. You should be very proud of yourselves. And now next up is Team Forest Guardians from Strathmore University in Kenya with Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation.
Every so often, wildfires make headlines, devastating landscape and contributing significantly to the increasing level of CO2. As our world warms, these wildfires become more extreme, making the threat that wildfires already are even bigger. According to the World Economic Forum, human-induced CO2 levels have surged by 50% above the pre-industrial levels. Our planet has warmed by 1.1 degrees Celsius over a century, making hot and dry conditions more common and severe, pushing up the odds of devastating wildfires. According to the Global Forest Watch, there was an estimated 11.6 million forest fires in Africa in 2023 alone. There has been 1.8 billion, on average, tons of carbon dioxide emitted due to forest fires worldwide. They attribute 20% of all carbon dioxide emissions globally. Kenya itself has recorded 180 fire incidents, out of which 63 were recorded in the Mau Block region. These statistics paint a clear picture of the situation at hand. While the numbers may seem daunting, we believe that our solution is tailored to alleviate these challenges.
So how do we do this? We're collecting data on environmental factors and also fire elements such as carbon dioxide concentration, carbon dioxide concentration, temperature, humidity, and also smoke. Additionally, we integrate thermal imagery will provide rich insights from the fusion of these datasets.
In our first prototype, we have sensors that monitor temperature and humidity, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and infrared radiation. For power, there's a battery pack and a solar panel. And for communication, we have an antenna and a LoRa transceiver that sends data via ground-based LoRaWAN gateway. For our second prototype, we have a battery connector, a solar connector, a charge controller, a microcontroller, and a smaller temperature, humidity, and gas sensor. We have a LoRa transceiver and an antenna connector.
Our second prototype has a small form factor of 3 by 3 centimeters. It leverages microelectromechanical systems, thus consumes about 90% less power than the first prototype. This makes it more energy efficient.
Our web app provides a real-time map of the area with the location of the fire sensors highlighted. This allows firefighters and concerned authorities to quickly identify the location of the fire and plan their response accordingly. The map also displays the sensors' values, such as temperature and smoke levels, which can help firefighters assess the severity of the fire and make informed decisions about how to proceed. On the system, we are able to switch to satellite thermal images to also aid in forest fire identification. In the past, unmanned aerial vehicles, commonly known as UAVs, have been in use in the prevention of forest fires. However, energy constraints due to battery life, limited scope of view, and having their operation affected by adverse weather conditions, such as smoke, have proven this method to be ineffective to some degree. Our system is advantageous as it offers precise mapping and real-time alerts. Moreover, the monitored parameters can be used to predict the likelihood of fire occurring in the future.
So we are in an era of climate change and loss of biodiversity, and for this we need to adapt and to come up with technologies that will be able to save the climate and also protect the biodiversity. And if with our project we are foreseeing a future whereby all of these will be catered for, and therefore we are providing a better future and a healthier one.
Next up, we have Team Safe Shelter. They're from the University of British Columbia in Okanagan in Canada. They're tackling Challenge 3, protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters. Let's watch.
Welcome to Safe Shelter, our World Engineering Day Hackathon solution for Challenge 3. Our team has set out to tackle the problem of protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters. This is our team. We are students at the University of British Columbia-Okanagan campus in both first and second year engineering. We hope you enjoy our project. Kenya, Jordan, Sudan, and Bangladesh. All of these countries suffer an average temperature of around 30 degrees Celsius. They're also home to some of the largest refugee camps in the world. These camps are home to more than 6.6 million refugees worldwide. This accounts for approximately 22% of the world's refugee population. These people live in extreme temperature environments with minimal solutions for their situation, and it's our team's goal to help innovate that solution. When we began the design process, our team set out with the goal to provide safe, temporary housing solution that was resistant to extreme temperatures, and to ensure that our solution was simple to assemble and easy to transport. Our team aimed to create an upgraded version of the standard UNHCR refugee tent that will incorporate new flexible solar panel technology and heat-reflective materials. The power generated by solar panels will be put into cooling systems and high-efficiency lighting. Our design was based around the UNHCR tent by Amtex and could be implemented to that tent very easily. However, our team saw a few places where modifications could be made to better suit our problem.
These modifications include
making each panel of wall connected by Velcro for easier storage and the ability to take sections off to move larger objects in or having more access to outside if desired. Another change that was made is that the walls are made of a more solid material to allow for better insulation from the outside heat and a lighter polycotton solar fabric top to allow for rising heat to escape. This will also provide a better sense of security for those staying in refugee camps for longer periods of time. Just like the original AIMTech tent, our design will be waterproof, fire retardant, and UV resistant. In this new design, the ground lining will be kept as light as possible to allow the typically colder ground to help with the heat within the tent.
This is Safe Shelter, focused on addressing the critical issue of protecting vulnerable populations in refugee camps from extreme heat. We have innovated on existing designs, integrating cutting-edge, flexible solar panel technology and heat-reflective materials. As we move forward, we envision the potential of emerging solar cell fabrics, such as those from MIT, to further amplify the impact of our solution, empowering these shelters to not only provide refuge, but also serve as a sustainable, energy-efficient haven for those facing the challenges of displacement. Thank you for joining us on this journey towards a more resilient and sustainable future for displaced communities worldwide.
What a submission! I really enjoyed it. Next up is EcoCool. They are a mixed university team coming to us from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Tokyo Institute of Technology, Rice University, and Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. And they are hacking Challenge 3, protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters.
Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea, and Central America. These are some of the countries most underprepared for extreme heat, and the summer of July 2023 was the hottest month ever recorded since the 1880. This is bound to increase due to increased population and consumption, leading to a more severe effect of global warming in the coming year. There are over 6 million internally displaced persons in Afghanistan, and their shelter is not enough to protect them from the heat. So our team come up with solutions to save them. Introducing EcoCool, a cost-effective cooling system that could be installed in existing shelter to help ventilate and cool down the whole shelter through the use of water. Using solar panels, the system is self-sustainable, and the attach-on feature means the system is also applicable to regular households and reduce energy consumption by replacing the traditional air conditioner system. Our system achieved 3 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals: good health and well-being, affordable and clean energy, and sustainable cities and communities.
After brainstorming, we knew that the passive cooling is the way to go. We found a very old yet clever invention that utilized the physics phenomenon of water evaporation energy to reduce temperature for food storage. The clay is a very special material with high heat conductivity, and it is made from one of the most abundant resources available, soil. So what if we made a wall with clay and ran it through the water system? So we ran a simulation to visualize the possibility, and the result was amazing.
To begin this project, we need to have the shelter itself. So I have been created a 3D model of the shelter, referring from the IKEA shelter, which is one of the most well-designed shelters at this moment. They were widely used all over the world. The size and the shape of the shelter will be used later on in the simulation part. We designed EcoCool by using computer-aided design software. The study of breathing water by Craig and Greenham in 2017 shows an impressive cooling ability, but they didn't mention about optimal size of holes. So we varied the size of the holes and then tested it out in small scales by using 3D printed models. Eventually, we chose a 1 cm diameter version of our models.
To test the efficiency of the eco-cooling system, we decided to use a simulation to simulate the environment of the shelter in the form of three-dimensional array, and the result from the simulation will be the distribution of heat and temperature inside of the shelter. And we'll make two assumptions to simplify our model. The first one, we will consider the sun to be one and only one source of energy in our model. And the second one is, we do not consider other external factors such as rain, weather, or the temperature of the furniture inside of the shelter. And on the screen right now is the temperature gradient from the simulation. The left figure is the gradient of the air inside the shelter without EcoCool, and the right figure is the one with EcoCool. The simulation will start from the sunrise and end at the sunset with 1 minute time steps. For the sun, we establish a function to control the trajectory of the sun and the intensity of the sunlight. To simulate the gradient, we use heat equation to predict the behavior of the heat transpiration. And for our cooling system, we use rate of evaporation to approximate the rate of coolant. Finally, we can see that EcoCool can averagely reduce the temperature of the shelter for 5 to 6 degrees Celsius, especially in the space near the ventilation hole.
And next, I would like to talk about how we can assemble the EcoCool and bring it to life. The panels are made from local soil, mixed with water, shaped in a mold, and baked. This clay panel can also be prefabricated off-site before transporting to the shelter location for quick and easy installation. I designed frames to securely attach the panel to the shelter wall, which are applicable to both rigid and flexible shelter walls. To circulate water through the panel for evaporative cooling, I designed a small power unit that includes a pump, a battery, and a controller. There are also connection ports on the side to connect the power from solar cell and connect the sensor to ensure that there's water running in the system.
The cost estimation of EcoCool AC is around $16 per shelter, which is 44 times cheaper than traditional AC and far less energy consuming.
So to sum up, not only does our team innovation save lives, but it could also reduce energy consumption, create a financially effective way for the government to save lives, and contribute to stopping global warming. There are more and more people at risk of dying from heat wave every day, and we hope to bring the EcoCool system to life to save those in need. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlene. Next up, EcoDrive from Makerere University in Uganda. They're tackling Challenge 2, promoting climate-positive action through innovation. Let's watch.
This, that, and that are a few of the threats we bring to our own world. According to IPCC, climate change is a result of more than a century of unsustainable energy and land use, lifestyles, and patterns of consumption and production. According to a news update issued by the World Meteorological Organization, the mean annual global near surface temperature for each year between 2023 and 2027 is predicted between 1.1 and 1.8 degrees Celsius higher than the year 1850 to 1900 average. There is a 98% likelihood that at least one of the next 5 years and the 5-year period as a whole will be the warmest on record. Highway vehicles release about 1.5 billion tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere each year, mostly in the form of carbon dioxide, contributing to global climate change. According to the report, which was authored by 278 scientists and experts, greenhouse gas emissions must be reduced by 43% by 2030. But how can this be achieved?
Introducing a revolutionary project that has the potential to shape our approach to renewable energy, the EcoDrive energy system.
Imagine a world where our roads not only facilitate transportation, but also contributes to generating clean and sustainable energy.
The EcoDrive energy system is a groundbreaking renewable energy generation initiative that utilizes the weight of moving vehicles on our roads to produce power. Our project supports SDG 7, which focuses on ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all, and SDG 13, which focuses on taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. The EcoDrive energy system is not just a project, it's a vision for our future where our roads play an active role in powering our world sustainably.
Energy generation stations were started in ridiculous congested roads, particularly highways, where vehicles are in constant motion throughout the day. These stations positioned at various sections along the road will cater to the quantitative energy needs of the surrounding area.
Now let's dive into the engineering marvel that makes this possible. Each station, hump-like pistons integrated into the road surface, will be connected to compression cylinders buried beneath the road. These compression cylinders, acting as the heart of the system, are linked to an air storage tank located at an energy station. A pressure gauge attached to the air storage tank monitors the air pressure in the tank. Now, as vehicles traverse the road, they exert a weight force on hump-like pistons, creating a downward stroke that initiates the compression process. Picture this as a sophisticated pump mechanism similar to a bicycle inflator pump, where continuous force exerted by passing vehicles compress air until the system reaches the desired pressure. We shall have a spring mechanism that will aid the piston's upward stroke after the downward stroke provided by the vehicles, maintaining a continuous and efficient energy generation cycle. The turbine. Once the optimal pressure is attained, the automatic valve will release the compressed air, directing it to the turbines. These turbines, interconnected to the system converting kinetic energy into electrical energy, will come to life, creating a continuous cycle of clean and sustainable power generation.
The implementation, we are going to start with a feasibility study, and the aim of the feasibility study will be to analyze the viability of utilizing the weight of vehicles on roads to generate energy. Our next phase will be the prototype testing. At this phase, we shall develop and test a small-scale prototype to validate the compression and energy conversion mechanisms. We shall build a small-scale model for testing in controlled environments. In the next phase, we shall have the pilot deployment. We shall implement a pilot system on a certain highway to evaluate real-world performance and data. Here, we shall use the data to monitor and collect real-world performance data over a specified period. We shall obtain a comprehensive data set retaining energy generation, system reliability, and any observed challenges. And next will be the scaling. Based on pilot results, we shall scale up the system for product deployment on suitable road networks.
How impactful is our project? First of all, by tapping renewable energy from passing vehicles on the road, not only does it significantly reduce the carbon footprint, but also contributes to a cleaner and healthier planet. Also, our project promotes the development of self-sustaining infrastructure, paving the way for a greener and more independent transportation system. Our sustainable solution not only does it benefit the environment, but also ensures long-term cost efficiency, representing a win-win for both our planet and financial resources.
The world is changing, and we have the power to help. As a global community, our collective creativity will shape solutions to ensure it changes for the better.
Welcome back to World Engineering Day 24-hour global stream. This is my third time hosting from the World Engineering Day studio, and I'm honored to be able to take you through this really powerful series of hackathon submissions. We're up to submission 10 now, but don't go anywhere, as very soon we will be announcing the winners live on air on World Engineering Day. Please remember to share your World Engineering Day celebrations on social media using hashtag World Engineering Day. Now back to our submissions. Next up, we have UOB Tesla Microreactor Group from Bahrain. They are hacking Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation, and they come to us from the University of Bahrain.
Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns, mainly caused by human activities, especially the burning of fossil fuels, where they release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, causing the planet to warm. Therefore, biodiesel has the potential to play a significant role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, our carbon footprint, and mitigate the adverse effects of climate change. The global annual generation of waste cooking oil is estimated to range from 120 to 220 million metric tons. However, the production of biodiesel from this waste resource has posed significant challenges due to the time-consuming nature of achieving high yields in conventional reactors. In order to address these issues, the utilization of microreactor technology has emerged as a potential solution.
Microreactors operate at smaller scale than traditional reactors, handling volumes from microliters to milliliters. Microreactors are engineered for precise control over reaction conditions, including temperature, pressure, and reactant mixing. They promote efficient heat and mass transfer through a high surface-to-volume ratio. This project explores the use of passive and active mixing techniques in Tesla-shaped microreactors to enhance biodiesel production yield. The initial phase focuses on passive mixing, utilizing innovative microreactor geometries to promote mixing through fluid dynamics and diffusion without external energy input. The second phase investigates active mixing, employing ultrasound methods to enhance mixing performance.
In the initial phase of our investigation, 3 distinct geometries inspired by the iconic Tesla shape are conceived and refined for a micromixer and a microreactor devices. These alternative geometries, namely the standard, modified, and obstacle Tesla-shaped configurations, are developed based on a comprehensive analysis of the influence of a fluid fluid dynamics, pressure drop, and fluid turbulence within the microfluidic channel. The design process employed AutoCAD software to craft the specifications of the 3 alternatives, subsequently enabling their physical realization through fabrication utilizing a CNC machine. The experimental investigation commenced on the 3 microfluidic chips, aiming to examine the impact of varying Tesla-shaped geometries and flow rates of waste cooking oil and methanol on biodiesel yield within the microfluidic system. Computational fluid dynamics simulation using the COMSOL multiphysics software were employed to reinforce and validate the experimental findings.
Let's direct our attention to the concept of active mixing in microreactor. A recent advancement in this field involves the utilization of ultrasound as a novel technology. When reactants are exposed to ultrasound, a considerable number of bubbles are formed. These bubbles subsequently collapse near the interface of immiscible phases, specifically oil and methanol. This phenomena leads to an increased degree of mixing, resulting in a significant improvement in biodiesel yield. To accomplish our research goal, a sequence of laboratory experiments was conducted. Afterward, the results for the experiments were acquired using gas chromatography (GCMS). Additionally, Minitab software, a robust statistical analysis tool, was employed to ascertain the optimum condition. Our investigation centered around 3 parameters: flow rate, temperature, and ultrasound power.
The initial phase revealed that the modified Tesla-shaped geometry achieved a high mixing index of 99.9% in the micromixer at a high Reynolds number. Additionally, using a potassium hydroxide as a catalyst in the microreactor resulted in a significant maximum biodiesel yield of 94.5%. Moreover, the CFD simulation displays strong agreement with the experimental data, enhancing the credibility of studies findings. In the secondary phase, 2 types of experiment was conducted to investigate the influence of acoustic waves on biodiesel production, using a batch-type reactor and ultrasonic device. Yields of 97.5% using sodium hydroxide as a catalyst and 94.8% using a potassium hydroxide as a catalyst were achieved within 13 minutes. In the second set of experiments, utilize a Tesla-shaped microreactor and ultrasonic device biodiesel yield of 99% using sodium hydroxide as a catalyst and 95.7% using potassium hydroxide as a catalyst within 18 seconds only.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd just like to take an opportunity now to thank everybody who's been involved in making the hackathon possible. Special mention to Engineers Without Borders, who alongside Dr Marlene Kanga developed the interesting challenges at the core of our hackathon. Let's hear from Engineers Without Borders now.
Hello there everyone. My name is Sanjay Bindran, President of the Board of Engineers Without Borders International. It is my absolute pleasure to be announcing and presenting to you about the World Engineering Day Hackathon, themed around engineering solutions for a sustainable world. This year again, multiple teams of engineers from around the world have come together to innovate and to address one of the most pressing issues of our time. How might we create solutions to continue humanity's progress, while at the same time finding ways to exist in harmony with our natural environment? From a certain point of view, this hackathon is a microcosm of exactly what the Engineers Without Borders International stands for. Engineers from all around the world coming together, crossing boundaries, and serving the communities most in need with the appropriate and simplest sustainable solutions. Thank you for joining us, have fun, and thank you for your interest in the Global Engineers Without Borders movement.
The university with the most students in the final is Makerere University. They have 8 of their students competing to win. What a big achievement for your university. Congratulations. Next up, we have Team Bottani, Hacking Challenge 2, promoting climate positive action through innovation. This team comes to us from the Institute Technology Bandung in Indonesia.
Southeast Asia, home to over 600 million people, boasts one of the world's most productive agricultural sectors, with agriculture contributing approximately 14.6% in the total Asian GDP. However, traditional farming practices in the region often rely on intuition, leading to water wastage, inefficient resource utilization, and suboptimal yields. Farmers use hoses for irrigation without precision, resulting in water wastage and potential harm to crops. Manual labor, including carrying heavy bags of fertilizers and water, constitutes a laborious and time-consuming task. Introducing Bottani, transforming agriculture through smart and precision farming. Bottani, a solar-powered robot, addresses these challenges effectively. It offers precise irrigation, fertilization, and pesticide spraying. While some other products like drones are available but can cost as much as $10,000 and are limited to specific tasks like spraying, Bottani is a versatile solution that can perform multiple agricultural tasks effectively. What's more, Bottani is affordable, with a price of just $3,500, making it accessible to the community. Bottani also equipped with advanced sensors. These sensors collect soil data such as temperature, moisture, nutrients, and soil pH during maintenance. The data is transmitted to the database and displayed on a user-friendly dashboard. An AI-powered camera detects plant conditions such as wilting or nutrient deficiencies, providing valuable insights and recommendations for farmers. Bottani is a semi-automatic robot with user-friendly control system. With just a single button press, it autonomously tends to one row of crops. As a form of concern for the environment, efficiency, and to reduce carbon emissions like SDG number 7, Bottani uses solar panels, ideal for remote agricultural areas without access to electricity. Its 100 ampere-hour battery and recharges with a 1,200 watt solar panel provides up to 3 hours of operation without sunlight. Bottani boasts a remarkable movement accuracy up to 1 centimeter, completing the work of 1 hectare in just 3 hours compared to manual labor that would require 10 farmers and 4 hours for the same task. Bottani not only offers time and energy efficiency, but also precision agriculture, significantly increasing agricultural productivity. The potential of this product can also expand business opportunities for the community. With cultivation that prioritize modernization and efficiency, farmers can improve the quality, effectiveness, and efficiency of the agricultural management process.
Ya, saya pisan, Pak, ngabantos karena pertanian. Karena pada mulanya cepat gitu untuk makan banyak ting upah kerja lah gitu.
Lovely to see 2 teams from Uganda in the top 12. It's also really lovely to see such diversity in the teams. We really have come a long way in encouraging more females to become engineers, something that we're all really passionate about here at World Engineering Day. Next up, it's Team Green Space Aventurine from Batangas State University, the national university in the Philippines. They're tackling Challenge 3, protecting the most vulnerable from extreme heat in refugee camps and temporary shelters. Let's watch.
Fossil fuel dominates all energy sources as it is responsible for supplying 80% of the world's total energy requirement. But the problem is, it is the main cause of carbon emissions that drastically increase global temperatures. Transportation, keeping the lights on, crop failures are also some of the human activities that contribute to carbon footprints. Who are affected? Refugees and internally displaced people. They experience extreme heat. They only live in temporary settlements in which materials cannot cope with the extreme temperature during hot days. The situation may get worse when heat waves occur. How might we protect them from extreme heat while reducing our carbon footprints?
Our team presents Green Space, sustainable phytophens assembled using cured source collected urine for urban environmental balance. Green Space is a proposed design for shelters that employs biofencing through the application of microalgae.
It mainly addresses SDG 13, climate action, and also it contributes to SDG 3, good health and well-being, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure, and lastly, SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities.
The highlight of Green Space is the cultivation of microalgae in treated human feed. On average, an individual urinates about 1 to 1.5 liters per day, which is about 7 to 10.5 liters per week, and about 1,050 to 1,575 liters per week in a community comprising of at least 150 people. Urine has a high concentration of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that microalgae can capture and use for its growth. To do this, an improvised urine diversion toilet has to be set up in comfort rooms. In this way, pure urine can be obtained.
To kill pathogens, batch samples of urine will be sterilized in an autoclave. Thereafter, the reduction of color and odor of the urine will be facilitated using a 3-layer filter consisting of vetiver grass, carbon filter, and sand filter.
Treated nutrient-rich urine is now ready for optimization. Optimal biomass growth of microalgae will be examined through dilution of 1:25 to 1:300. Peer-reviewed study indicates that diluted urine samples can provide an even more ideal environment for microalgae. The inoculum of the microalgae C. vulgaris can now be mixed in a photobioreactor with urine as media.
The advantage of this innovation is that microalgae can exploit the concentrated nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in urine for their growth, thus producing biomass that can be used as biofuel, creating an opportunity for a less harmful source of energy. And for wastewater treatment facilities, the use of microalgae can be helpful in the further treatment of yellow wastewater.
We will utilize the biofencing of microalgae to defend people from the scorching heat of the sun. Microalgae will also capture carbon dioxide through the ducts in the fabricated container, thus reducing toxic emissions in the surroundings. The green space will also be installed with a solar panel in order to light up during the nighttime and function as a photobioreactor while providing illumination. After some time, the urine and microalgae mixture can be easily replenished through pre-designed inlet and outlet. To sum up, green space will serve as a biomass producer, urine's tertiary treatment, biofence, polluted air purifier, light source, and ultimately, a cool space where everyone can relax.
We are planning to cooperate and seek funding from the Department of Science and Technology to improve our urine treatment capacity and
upscale our microalgae cultivation. With green space, experience a harmonious blend of nature and urban living where everyone can thrive in a cool, comforting, and sustainable environment.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to announce and watch back our top 3 winners. We have 3 prizes to award today. Third prize is 1,000 euros. Second prize is 2,000 euros. And the first place prize is 4,000 euros. Now, without further ado, let's announce the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon winners. In third place, winning 1,000 euros, it's Green Space Aventurine. Congratulations to this team on their win. Let's rewatch their submission now.
Fossil fuel dominates all energy sources as it is responsible for supplying 80% of the world's total energy requirement. But the problem is, it is the main cause of carbon emissions that drastically increase global temperatures. Transportation, keeping the lights on, crop failures are also some of the human activities that contribute to carbon footprints. Who are affected? Refugees and internally displaced people. They experience extreme heat. They only live in temporary settlements in which materials cannot cope with the extreme temperature during hot days. The situation may get worse when heat waves occur. How might we protect them from extreme heat while reducing our carbon footprints?
Our team presents Green Space, sustainable phytophens assembled using cured source collected urine for urban environmental balance. Green Space is a proposed design for shelters that employs biofencing through the application of microalgae.
It mainly addresses SDG 13, climate action, and also it contributes to SDG 3, good health and well-being, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, SDG 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure, and lastly, SDG 11, sustainable cities and communities.
The highlight of Green Space is the cultivation of microalgae in treated human feed. On average, an individual urinates about 1 to 1.5 liters per day, which is about 7 to 10.5 liters per week, and about 1,050 to 1,575 liters per week in a community comprising of at least 150 people. Urine has a high concentration of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that microalgae can capture and use for its growth. To do this, an improvised urine diversion toilet has to be set up in comfort rooms. In this way, pure urine can be obtained.
To kill pathogens, batch samples of urine will be sterilized in an autoclave. Thereafter, the reduction of color and odor of the urine will be facilitated using a 3-layer filter consisting of vetiver grass, carbon filter, and sand filter.
Treated nutrient-rich urine is now ready for optimization. Optimal biomass growth of microalgae will be examined through dilution of 1:25 to 1:300. Peer-reviewed study indicates that diluted urine samples can provide an even more ideal environment for microalgae. The inoculum of the microalgae C. vulgaris can now be mixed in a photobioreactor with urine as media.
The advantage of this innovation is that microalgae can exploit the concentrated nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium in urine for their growth, thus producing biomass that can be used as biofuel, creating an opportunity for a less harmful source of energy. And for wastewater treatment facilities, the use of microalgae can be helpful in the further treatment of yellow wastewater.
We will utilize the biofencing of microalgae to defend people from the scorching heat of the sun. Microalgae will also capture carbon dioxide through the ducts in the fabricated container, thus reducing toxic emissions in the surroundings. The green space will also be installed with a solar panel in order to light up during the nighttime and function as a photobioreactor while providing illumination. After some time, the urine and microalgae mixture can be easily replenished through pre-designed inlet and outlet. To sum up, green space will serve as a biomass producer, urine's tertiary treatment, biofence, polluted air purifier, light source, and ultimately, a cool space where everyone can relax.
We are planning to cooperate and seek funding from the Department of Science and Technology to improve our urine treatment capacity and upscale our microalgae cultivation. With green space, experience a harmonious blend of nature and urban living where everyone can thrive in a cool, comforting, and sustainable environment.
Welcome back, everyone. We're in the middle of the winner announcement for the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon. Well done to Green Space Aventurine in taking out 3rd place. You beat out thousands of participants from all over the world. You should be very, very proud. I'm thrilled now to announce the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon 2nd place prize winner. This prize of €2,000 goes to Team EcoCool. Let's rewatch their submission.
Afghanistan, Papua New Guinea, and Central America. These are some of the countries most underprepared for extreme heat, and the summer of July 2023 was the hottest month ever recorded since the 1880s. This is bound to increase due to increased population and consumption, leading to a more severe effect of global warming in the coming year. There are over 6 million internally displaced persons in Afghanistan, and their shelter is not enough to protect them from the heat. So our team come up with solutions to save them. Introducing EcoCool, a cost-effective cooling system that could be installed in existing shelter to help ventilate and cool down the whole shelter through the use of water. Using solar panels, the system is self-sustainable, and the attach-on feature means the system is also applicable to regular households and reduce energy consumption by replacing the traditional air conditioner system. Our system achieved 3 of the UN Sustainable Development Goals: good health and well-being, affordable and clean energy, and sustainable cities and communities.
After brainstorming, we knew that the passive cooling is the way to go. We found a very old yet clever invention that utilized the physics phenomenon of water evaporation energy to reduce temperature for food storage. The clay is a very special material with high heat conductivity, and it is made from one of the most abundant resources available, soil. So what if we made a wall with clay and ran it through the water system? So we ran a simulation to visualize the possibility, and the result was amazing.
To begin this project, we need to have the shelter itself. So I have been created a 3D model of the shelter, referred from the IKEA shelter, which is one of the most well-designed shelters at this moment. They were widely used all over the world. The size and the shape of the shelter will be used later on in the simulation part.
We designed EcoCool by using computer-aided design software. The study of breathing wall by Craig and Greenham in 2017 shows an impressive cooling ability, but they didn't mention about optimal size of holes. So we varied the size of the holes and then tested it out in small scales by using 3D printed models. Eventually, we chose a 1 cm diameter version of our models.
To test the efficiency of the eco-cooling system, we decided to use a simulation to simulate the environment of the shelter in the form of 3-dimensional array, and the result from the simulation will be the distribution of heat and temperature inside of the shelter. And we'll make 2 assumptions to simplify our model. The first one, we will consider the sun to be one and only one source of energy in our model. And the second one is, we do not consider other external factors such as rain, weather, or the temperature of the furniture inside of the shelter. And on the screen right now is the temperature gradient from the simulation. The left figure is the gradient of the air inside the shelter without EcoCool, and the right figure is the one with EcoCool. The simulation will start from the sunrise and end at the sunset with 1 minute time steps. For the sun, we establish a function to control the trajectory of the sun and the intensity of the sunlight. To simulate the gradient, we use heat equation to predict the behavior of the heat transpiration. And for our cooling system, we use rate of evaporation to approximate the rate of coolant. Finally, we can see that EcoCool can irreversibly reduce the temperature of the shelter from 5 to 6 degrees Celsius, especially in the space near the ventilation hole.
And next, I would like to talk about how we can assemble the EcoCool and bring it to life. The panels are made from local soil, mixed with water, shaped in a mold, and baked. This clay panel can also be prefabricated off-site before transporting to the shelter location for quick and easy installation. I designed frames to securely attach the panel to the shelter wall, which are applicable to both rigid and flexible shelter walls. To circulate water through the panel for evaporative cooling, I designed a small power unit that includes a pump, a battery, and a controller. There are also connection ports on the side to connect the power from solar cell and connect the sensor to ensure that there's water running in the system.
The cost estimation of EcoCool AC is around $16 per shelter, which is 44 times cheaper than traditional AC and far less energy consuming.
So to sum up, not only does our team innovation save lives, but it could also reduce energy consumption, create a financially effective way for the government to save lives, and contribute to stopping global warming. There are more and more people at risk of dying from heat wave every day, and we hope to bring the EcoCool system to life to save those in need. Thank you.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The winner of the 2024 World Engineering Day Hackathon, being awarded the first place prize of €4,000 is, drumroll please, Team Somiant from Yachay Tech University. Now let's rewatch their submission.
Hemos escuchado que el cambio climático cada vez se agrava, provocando derretimiento de los cascos glaciares del planeta, resultando en un incremento en el nivel del mar, veranos más calientes, inviernos más fríos, lluvias intensas o sequías prolongadas. El fenómeno del Niño, también conocido como ENSO, es un evento climático que se genera por el calentamiento del Océano Pacífico, el cual limita en las costas de nuestro país, Ecuador. El ENSO tuvo mayor afectación en nuestro perfil costero en 1997-1998, donde hubo una pérdida de $2.882 millones. Actualmente se estima que para este año 2023 y 2024 el fenómeno será más fuerte. Sin embargo, estas pérdidas se pueden disminuir si la comunidad conoce sobre los riesgos que conlleva el ENSO. Y si les dijera que no estamos indefensos ante este golpe de la naturaleza, hoy les presentamos una solución innovadora que no solo enfrenta, sino que anticipa, mitiga los impactos del Niño y nos enseña cómo actuar ante este desastre natural.
El Niño es un fenómeno que afecta significativamente el clima en varias partes del mundo y ocurre cada 2 o 7 años con una intensidad variada, afectando drásticamente la temperatura hasta 4 grados centígrados más sobre la normal. Estos cambios en la temperatura del agua también afectan los denominados vientos alisos, los cuales en condiciones normales son los encargados de transportar el agua caliente frente a las costas de nuestro país hacia las costas de Australia y Japón, al oeste. En épocas del Niño ocurre una disminución de los mismos y en algunos casos en cambios completos de la dirección de estos, provocando intensos periodos de sequía y precipitaciones resultando en inundaciones y en algunos casos hasta incendios. En Ecuador, la falta de datos o la carencia de información obstaculiza nuestra capacidad de respuesta.
Imaginen la capacidad de anticipar, de poder ver en tiempo real el desarrollo del fenómeno del Niño en todas las provincias del Ecuador. Esto no es solo una posibilidad, sino la esencia de nuestra solución, un software de monitoreo en tiempo real que use datos satelitales para proporcionar información y ver la evolución del desarrollo del fenómeno del Niño. En el 97 y el 98, muchas de las comunidades costeras quedaron destruidas. Por ejemplo, en la península de Santa Elena, en La Libertad, el malecón quedó arrasado. Las casas en Manglar Alto derribadas y el muro de contención en Montañita tuvo que ser reconstruido. Al sur del país nos encontramos en Santa Rosa, donde el río por el que pasa esta ciudad se desbordó. Este panorama es muy similar a las comunidades que viven en la provincia de Los Ríos, provincia llena de estos afluentes fluviales. Y en los últimos años, al norte del país, en Esmeraldas, hemos venido viendo estos eventos de inundación múltiples veces. Hoy, el clima no es el mismo de hace 25 años. Reconocer los lugares más susceptibles nos ayudará a que este evento deje de ser una tragedia.
El software propuesto va más allá de ser una simple herramienta de observación. Se trata de una red de inteligencia climática diseñada para ser accesible para todos. El monitoreo en tiempo real utiliza algoritmos para analizar patrones climáticos, previendo posibles escenarios y sus impactos. Esto significa que no solo reaccionamos, sino que anticipamos, marcando la diferencia en la preparación ante el fenómeno del Niño. Una de las funcionalidades claves es la capacidad de segmentar imágenes, permitiendo a los usuarios visualizar el progreso del fenómeno en cada provincia ecuatoriana. Este enfoque basado en imágenes ofrece una comprensión más completa y accesible para todos los usuarios. Esto permite acceder a la información en cualquier momento y lugar. Además del monitoreo continuo, el software enviará notificaciones y alertas a los usuarios sobre cambios significativos, garantizando una respuesta inmediata y eficiente. Estas funcionalidades no solo convierten a nuestro software en una herramienta de observación, sino en un aliado esencial para la toma de decisiones informadas.
Implementar esta iniciativa no solo significa mitigar los impactos que el niño puede llegar a tener, sino también estar un paso adelante en la construcción de un futuro más resiliente. La capacidad de toma de decisiones informadas y responder de manera rápida marca la diferencia en la protección de nuestras comunidades que son afectadas de diferente manera y la prevención de nuestro entorno. Presentamos esta iniciativa siendo conscientes de que somos arquitectos de nuestra resiliencia y este software es la herramienta que nos permite construir cimientos sólidos que nos permitirán enfrentar a diferentes desafíos climáticos que se nos avecinan. El cambio climático no es solo una amenaza, es una realidad ineludible que necesita de nuestra atención y acción inmediata. Juntos podemos ser los guardianes de nuestro entorno, protegiendo nuestra tierra para las generaciones venideras.
And that's it for our World Engineering Day Hackathon final show. Congratulations again to our top winners. Remember to use hashtag World Engineering Day across social media all day today so we can all share your celebrations. And do not move from your seat because we now have over 20 hours of global celebrations coming right to you through the amazing power of technology. Thank you, engineers. And thank you, Tenil Skichluna, for being my lovely co-host today. Not only is she my co-host, but Tenil and her team from the Big Creatives in Sydney are the hackathon project leads. Their team also brings us the World Engineering Day global stream and so much more. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. We'd also like to thank our co-organisers in crime, Dr Marlene Kanga, our preliminary and final judges. Thank you so much. Our hackathon working group, Jacques, Jose, Ivan and Theo, and of course, Engineers Without Borders, once again for your vital contribution. Without all of you, we wouldn't be able to do this really amazing program. And again, Marlene for co-hosting with me today.
The World Engineering Day 24-hour global stream is the first 24-hour stream of a UNESCO day. We are on our third year of this program, and we are truly honored to have so much of the engineering community watching.
Indeed, it's going to be really, really special. Just stay where you are. Happy World Engineering Day.
The world is changing, and we have the power to help. As a global community, our collective creativity will shape solutions to ensure it changes for the better. By 2050, 800 million people living in at-risk cities will be severely affected by climate change. Without urgent adaptation, a predicted sea level change of more than 0.5 metre could drown entire neighbourhoods.
The worst case scenario, if we don't adapt to climate change, is that we simply cannot live in these cities that we've created. Standards is more than just creating and writing standards. It's a higher order activity. It's about moving beyond profiteering and geopolitical issues. It's about actually bringing humanity together to work together to solve some of the major issues of our time.
Cities are not the only populaces under threat. From the South Pacific to the Caribbean, small island nations form 60% of countries with the highest losses from disaster events. Islands like Niue are struggling against the impact of extreme weather on coastal infrastructure, as well as loss of marine biodiversity and food production.
In 2004, Cyclone Heta devastated Niue so badly. And I don't think we have fully recovered from that experience. But the impact of natural disasters, one unfortunate lesson we learned that some of our families departed for greener pastures in New Zealand or Australia because of the experiences they faced. And that's bad for economic development. So we have a serious declining population issue. Climate change is no longer a myth. It is real and scary.
International standards and initiatives are helping nations on the front lines of climate change adopt sustainable technologies, as well as strengthen infrastructure resilience to limit the impact of natural disasters.
For the Pacific region, it's about ensuring that we have the tools to be able to, not just survive a cyclone, but also to withstand it. What I hope for is if we're developing these standards and drafting these standards, it's going to help save more lives. I think that's the big thing for us in the Pacific. We're so vulnerable to weather changes and things like that, having these standards that are developed either at the ISO level or Australia and New Zealand, I think that's going to save lives.
They might not look it, but children's toy batteries pose a serious health threat. Every year, more than 2,800 kids are treated in emergency rooms after swallowing button batteries. That's one child every 3 hours.
So the problem with button batteries is that they look really innocuous. You can hold them in your hand, but if you ingest them or if you insert them into the body, they can cause devastating injuries. Now they're everywhere. They permeate every part of our life. And we have just been seeing this rising tide of severe injuries. And the gift of a good standard is that all of those products have a certain level of protection and a certain level of child resistance.
No one expects to leave for work and never return home. But 1 in 4 workplace fatalities trace back to the same industry, welding.
In 2004, a young welder was electrocuted in the Illawarra region. His clothing was damp from previous rain, and it was so damp that the conductivity and resistivity of his clothing was compromised, and he went to strike an arc. The electrode touched his body, and he was electrocuted. He was unable to be revived.
In collaboration with both ISO and the IEC, Standards Australia is currently revising a number of welding standards for clothing and electrical safety. The continued development of these safety requirements is critical to help prevent further injury and reduce the risk of workplace fatalities. Algorithms will rule the futures of the next generation. From gender bias to racial profiling, the brave new world of AI comes with burdens as well as benefits.
There are lots of examples of AI systems gone wrong. In the context of bias, we can think about hiring algorithms that learn to mimic an existing workforce. If the existing workforce is all male, the only CVs that will go through are CVs from men. What standards can do is help explain, if you like, the bias and fairness challenge. Help organisations understand in their own context what they need to measure before deploying a system, and thus ensure that the systems that are deployed, say in something like hiring, are fair and appropriate for that use.
Electricity, an essential part of modern life, and easy to take for granted. However, around the world, over 1.2 billion people living rurally still don't have access to it and are being left behind. As UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said, Energy is the golden thread that connects economic growth, social equity, and an environment that allows the world to thrive.
Ideally, we would be all connected to the grid, and that is not always possible because it's simply not economically viable because people are too far away from the grid, or simply the community is too small. It's really mandatory for the growth of those areas to have access to electricity, to have better health, to have this economical growth as well, to be connected also with the rest of the world. What you need is electricity.
New standards for technologies like low-voltage direct current electricity are helping to harness the power of renewable energy and use it to connect rural communities like never before. With tech like this, we can extend school hours, provide access to online banking, and allow health clinics to operate at night, saving and improving lives for millions of people. Across industries, oceans, and borders, standards are an unseen force, helping to create a safer and more sustainable world. From preserving the ways of the past to regulating the advancements of the future, the story of standards continues to evolve to meet the changing needs of both people and the planet.
I'm a research scientist leading battery team at CSIRO Manufacturing. Australia has set targets to reduce carbon emissions. To be able to reach these targets, it's crucial that we quickly transition to renewable energy sources. For that, we need more efficient batteries to be able to store these energies. The work I and my colleagues are doing, we have a unique opportunity to establish a sustainable battery industry in Australia. We all love our electric vehicles to have the capability to drive longer distances without needing a recharge. Or maybe our mobile phone with less frequent need for charging. I am collaborating with industries to enhance the safety and energy density of the existing lithium-ion batteries that you find in everyday products like your mobile phone. I'm working with academic researchers to develop advanced materials for the next generation lithium batteries, which have the potential to store more energy and deliver high power. I'm honored to have received this award from ATSE. I hope that this recognition builds even more trust from current industry partners and also inspires a young generation as they pursue their careers.
My name is John Watson. I'm a Yigana man.
Born in Mount Anderson.
Yeah, I'm Anthony Watson, the son of John. We created the community of Jalmananga. The Majala is a freshwater mangrove tree that we've used through our tradition and our Dreamtime stories. It's a numbing cream.
Yeah, see my finger. The crocodile came along, took my finger, took that little bit there. And I had to get Majala to numb that.
It was put in the newspaper and we had Griffith Uni contact us towards wanting to learn about the traditional medicine, and it started our adventure with Griffith Uni.
My name is Ron Quinn. I'm a Professor Emeritus at Griffith University. John and I discussed what we could do with that because we had to show that we could follow it in a laboratory.
We was hoping that our traditional medicine get put on the shelf to be used. We know it's 10 times stronger than morphine.
We have an aspiration to have this ready for the Olympic Games in Brisbane in 2032. We hope to convince the Therapeutic Goods Administration that thousands of years of oral history from the Aboriginal people that could come forward to benefit all Australians.
It also opened up a window for other Indigenous medicine usage to actually hit the market similar to our one. Griffith handed their shares back to the community.
I'm just really happy that it's starting to move to acknowledge traditional knowledge, and hopefully we can move that forward further.
Well, it's a big surprise to me, and it's good to hear something that all the work that we've done over the years, with Griffith,
Hi, my name is Layla Halim and I'm a first year PhD student at Monash University. I am working as part of the CSIRO Ending Plastic Waste mission. Plastic pollution is a really disastrous problem and it's affecting countries all over the globe. It is having devastating impacts on marine wildlife, but it's also posing a lot of threats to human health. We really need to figure out ways to deal with our waste. Now, we work on membranes in my research group, and this is because membranes, compared to other traditional separation techniques, use a lot less energy. And so if we use the membranes to capture our useful breakdown products from the plastic waste, this will allow for hopefully cost reductions in these recycling techniques and therefore hopefully improve their commercial feasibility. So once these useful components are isolated, they can then be valorized into new products across various industries. In particular, I'm interested in the green energy industry. We envisage that plastic breakdown products, once isolated, could then be upcycled into components of green energy technology. It would create a product of a greater value. I am truly honoured to be the recipient of the Ezio Rosado Polymer Scholarship. I am so thrilled that ATSE has given me this recognition and support. I'm really excited to receive some great advice and mentoring at the beginning of my academic career.
My name is Conrad Wasco, and I'm a hydrologist at the University of Melbourne. I'm currently leading the update to Australia's flood guidance under climate change so that we can accommodate the impact of future changes in flooding in a warmer climate. A lot of my research has been focused on understanding how the changes differ between smaller, more frequent floods and larger, more rare floods. It turns out that frequent floods are decreasing with climate change due to lower mean annual rainfalls actually drying out our soils. Extreme rainfall increases are actually causing our larger floods to increase with climate change. Floods are one of the most actually manageable catastrophes that we experience. So if we design against extreme flood events, then we can actually protect our infrastructure and we can actually reduce the risk to life. Getting awards like this will give us the affirmation that really just keeps us going when I doubt my research or doubt the impact or the importance of what I'm doing. I think it's something that encourages me to just continue working on these complex and challenging problems that we're all facing.
Engineering innovation for a more resilient world has a particular meaning to both engineers and engineers in New Zealand. It is how do we do engineering in the context of a world where there are greater stresses out there. There are stresses from climate change, there are stresses from our economy, and there's this constant desire to make things that last longer, perform better, have a reduced impact on the environment, and is better for our society. Engineering New Zealand, Te Aorangaho, is challenging engineers to be bold and creative in mitigating, transitioning and adapting to climate change for a reimagined and resilient future. To be good engineers as we head to 2030, we have to embrace a much broader range of cultures, and we have to take into account more than just human beings. We have to achieve great things in engineering, but which benefit the environment, in New Zealand benefit the Māori culture, and serve everyone. Engineers are naturally innovative. They love creating new things. In Engineering New Zealand, we are trying to encourage more people to become engineers. So we have a wonderful program called the Wonder Project, and it's all about getting kids excited and interested about STEM subjects. And the whole aim of this is to generate excitement, show people that creating things is fun. We also work very closely with the universities, and there is a real focus on things like understanding of the benefits of diversity and inclusion, understanding sustainability, understanding the social, economic and environmental context of engineering, and understanding the need for cultural linkages. Wellington has recently seen the launch of a fully electric ferry. It was done in conjunction with local iwi. It's better for the environment, obviously, because it uses electrical power. It also has much lower weight, and it's slightly faster than the old diesel-powered ferry and has slightly more capacity. So that's a really good example of engineering that is better for people, better for the environment, and really cool engineering. A big happy World Engineering Day to you all, wherever you are. Ngā mihi nui, kia koutou katoa.
Good morning from Sydney, Australia. Good morning and welcome to the third and final day of the Humanitarian Innovation Hackathon.
This is the moment of truth. We're down to the top 10 finalists. Well done to all of the 10 finalists chosen today.